explain to you a little about hedging strategies in academic discourse, a comparative analysis of Turkish writers and native writers of English by Octave Yedijoğlu and also Kaneti Demir. And for the first, we have some contents, which is abstract, introduction, methodology, results, and conclusion. So yeah, for the abstract, given the use of appropriate uncertainty of the right strength of claims for the data, and also politeness and proper positioning oneself. So, hedging is an important component of Western academic research that appears inadequate awareness. The present study aims to reveal the tendency and preference of Turkish and Anglosphere scholars in terms of using hedging strategies and frequency of hedge, and whether any differences exist in their published article. And yeah, the data corpus was composed of the 100 articles published in English that equally belong to non-native writers or Turkish and native writers of English, Anglosphere. So there are three parts of the article. For example, introduction, discussion, and conclusion. So where hedging devices are commonly used, we'll analyze through a concordance program to get the hedge frequencies. And yeah, the output will be categorized according to a framework include 9 hedged types, which is effect of frequency, quantifiers, models auxiliary verbs, epistemic verbs, and adjective and adverbs, nouns, conversational and informal introductory phrases, figure references. The categorized outputs will be analyzed by means of MANOVA and Mann-Whitney tests to compare non-native writers, or we can call NNW, and native writers or NW in terms of the head's frequency. And the another one, the next content is introduction. The hedging can be defined as a tentative language or to avoid any certainty or to mitigate the statement to able to ever possible criticism. Either you use it to distinguish facts from opinion, or honesty, modesty, and proper cautions. Um, and also the importance makes hedges as the most frequency factors of writer perspective, as Highland confirmed in 1998. Even hedging devices are seen as if they were suggestions of desirable. Jordan urged its existence in academic writing as a requisite. And the present study aims to achieve the following research objective. Uh, A. To examine the overall frequencies of hedges used in the study corpora. And B. To compare the frequency and distribution of hedges in research article and of NNWs and NWs of English from the point of introduction, discussion, and conclusion section. And the C. To reveal the frequency and distribution of various forms of hedges used in the study corpora in the sense of in NW and in NW of English. Especially, the study contains 3 research questions. The 3 questions is the first: what is the distribution pattern of edges across different sections in the of NNW, and in contrast with NW of English? And the second is do the corpora comprise of RIS of NNW and N of the English studies demonstrate any differences in overall number of frequency of hedges. Do the types of hedges employed in the corpora disclose differences in terms of NNW and NW of English? And the third is the methodology. A corpus of total 100 research article written by 50 non new writers, new writers and 50 and W of English constitute to the data. For the present study, the RA or research article were selected randomly from diverse journals of ELT, and a research article written on ELT subjects were compiled and analyzed because hedging and other features of opinion positioning is said to differ across discipline. To able to see synchronical variation of the use of hedging in RA or research article of NNW and NWR research article published in the last 5 years were gathered. And yeah, were more than one scholars involved. The corresponding author of the first author in affiliation was regarded as the writer or RA. The national of the first of corresponding author determined the status of nativeness of all others. Yeah, the next is the data from the vocabularies number for each section. We can see that although different taxonomies have been used for the categorization of indicativeness of hedging, for example, skeleton, in the literature study, hedging devices employ the present study. The present study were determined mostly based on their function as well as corruption suggestion. And yeah, there are some the first is adverb of frequency, the quantifiers, and epistemic modality, and epistemic lexical verbs, adjective and adverbs, and also nouns, conversational, and informal, introductory phrases, and also the figure references. And yeah, the last contents is about the result and conclusion, which is result. We can see that the having examined and analyzed the study corpora, we can see the data. The red one is the native writers, and the blue one is the non-native writers, or NNW and NW. As seen from the figure, the last one, the general tendency of both non the non native writers and native writer is using hedges are similar. The last the least hedges employment is the introductory parts of the non-native writers, while the situation is the same for native writers. Despite the similarity, hedging carries some major variety in terms of hedge number. And yeah, the result again, we can see um, table section hedges numbers. As understood from the table, the non-native writers lag behind of a native writer in hedge number through all sections, especially in introduction and comparatively. The difference is lighter in discussion and conclusion part. So yeah, this is the hedges type of across section. Each section in research article of native writer and non-native writer was analyzed through the concordance program. We can see the Hedges type, for example, app, apis, apis modality, um, apis modality, verbs, and adjective and verbs, and etc. We can see that the total is proof um, the research article which read by non-writers, non-native writers and native writers. And the hedging types and usage, the number of different hedging words of structure used by the writer was examined and the result was provided in the table below. We can see the total is 129 for the non-native writers, and the non-writer is 116. It's the number of hedge kinds. Yeah. Then the adjectival and adverbial hedges follow according to the analyzed results. Non-native writers use 19 different hedges types by using adjective and adverbs, while the figure was 23 for native writers. What is the interesting is the while non-native writer used 9 figure references in order to make a hedging statement, and native writer used none. The last hedging alternative use was with noun use. Seven diversities of noun in total. In summary, it is understood from the table of the non-native writers used more distinct hedging words of structures when compared to non-native writers. So another significant differences between non-native writers and native writers were found in using figure references hedges. It is type of colloquial hedging and has the role of distancing the writer by attributing the information to an external source. And yeah, this is the last part of my presentation. So thank you so much for watching me, and I hope you see in the next presentation. Goodbye.